What's up, guys?
Secret is feeling good. You want to feel exhilarated by this whole process. You want to be high, happy, in tune as much as possible. Everyone has the power to visualize. Let me prove it to you with a picture of a kitchen. For this to work, first of all you have to get all thoughts of your kitchen out of your mind. Do not think of your kitchen. Totally clear your mind of pictures of your kitchen with its cupboards, refrigerator, tiles, and color scheme. You saw a picture of your kitchen in your mind, didn't you? Well, then you just visualized. Everyone visualizes whether he knows it or not.
Yep.
Visualizing is the great secret of success. Here's a tip about visualizing, which Dr. John Demartini shares in his Breakthrough Experience seminars. John said that if you create a static picture in your mind, it can be difficult to hold that picture, so create lots of movement in your picture. To illustrate this, imagine your kitchen again, and this time imagine yourself entering that kitchen, walking to the refrigerator and putting your hand on the door handle, opening the door, looking inside, and finding a cold bottle of water. Reach in and grab it. You can feel the coldness on your hand as you grasp the bottle. You have the bottle of water in one hand, and you use your other hand to close the refrigerator door. Now that you are visualizing your kitchen with detail and movement, it's easier to see and hold the picture, isn't it? We all possess more power and greater possibilities than we realize, and visualizing is one of the greatest of these powers. The powerful process in action. The only difference between people who live in this way, who live in the magic of life, and those who don't is that the people who live in the magic of life have habituated ways of being. They've made a habit of using the law of attraction, and magic happens with them wherever they go. Because they remember to use it. They use it all the time, not just as a one-time event. Here are two true stories that clearly demonstrate the powerful law of attraction and the immaculate matrix of the universe in action. The first story is about a woman named Jeannie, who bought a DVD of The Secret and was watching it at least once a day so that she would absorb the message right into the cells of her body. She was particularly impressed with Bob Proctor, and she thought it would be wonderful to meet him. One morning, Jeannie collected her mail, and to her utter amazement, the mailman had accidentally delivered Bob Proctor's mail to her address. What Jeannie didn't know is that Bob Proctor lived just 4 blocks away from her. Not only that, but Jeannie's house number was the same number as Bob's. She immediately took the mail to deliver it to the correct address. Can you imagine her utter delight when the door opened and Bob Proctor was standing before her? Bob is rarely at home as he travels all over the world teaching, but the matrix of the universe knows only perfect timing. From Jeannie's thought of how wonderful it would be to meet Bob Proctor, the law of attraction moved people, circumstances, and events throughout the universe so that it happened. The second story involves a 10-year-old boy named Colin, who had seen and loved The Secret. Colin's family made a week-long visit to Disney World, and on their first day they experienced long lines at the park. So that night, just before Colin fell asleep, he thought, "Tomorrow I'd love to go on all the big rides and never have to wait in line." The next morning, Colin and his family were at the gates of Epcot Center as the park opened, and a Disney staff member approached and asked them if they would be Epcot's first family of the day. As first family, they would be given VIP status, a special escort by a staff member, and walk-on passes for every big ride in Epcot. It was everything and more that Colin had wished for. Hundreds of families were waiting to enter Epcot that morning, but Colin didn't have the slightest doubt as to why his family had been chosen first family. He knew it was because he had used The Secret. Imagine discovering, at the age of 10, that the power to move worlds lies within you. Nothing can prevent your picture from coming into concrete form except the same power which gave it birth, yourself. People hold that for a while, and they're really a champion at it. They say, "I'm fired up. I saw this program and I'm going to change my life." And yet results aren't showing. Beneath the surface it's just about ready to break through, but the person will look just at the surface results and say, "This stuff doesn't work." And you know what? The universe says, "Your wish is my command," and it disappears. When you allow a thought of doubt to enter your mind, the law of attraction will soon line up one doubtful thought after another. The moment a thought of doubt comes, release it immediately. Send that thought on its way. Replace it with "I know I am receiving now." And feel it. Knowing the law of attraction, I wanted to really put it to use and to see what would happen. In 1995, I started to create something called a vision board, where I take something that I want to achieve, or something that I want to attract, like a car or a watch or the soulmate of my dreams, and I put a picture of what I want up on this board. Every day I would sit in my office and I would look up at this board and I would start to visualize. I would really get into the state of having already acquired it. I was getting ready to move. We put all the furniture, all the boxes, into storage, and I made 3 different moves over a period of 5 years. And then I ended up in California and bought this house, renovated it for a year, and then had all the stuff brought from my farmer home 5 years earlier. One morning my son Keenan came into my office, and one of the boxes that was sealed for 5 years was right at the doorstep. He asked, "What's in the boxes, Daddy?" And I said, "Those are my vision boards." He then asked, "What's a vision board?" I said, "Well, it's where I put all my goals up. I cut them out and I put all my goals up as something that I want to achieve in my life." Of course, at 5.5 years old, he didn't understand, and so I said, "Sweetheart, let me just show you, that'll be the easiest way to do it." I cut the box open, and on one vision board was a picture of a home that I was visualizing 5 years earlier. What was shocking was that we were living in that house. Not a house like it, I actually bought my dream home, renovated it, and didn't even know it. I looked at that house and I started to cry because I was just blown away. Keenan asked, "Why are you crying?" I finally understand how the law of attraction works. I finally understand the power of visualization. I finally understand everything that I've read, everything that I've worked with my whole life, the way I've built companies. It worked for my home as well, and I bought our dream home and didn't even know it. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. You can let your imagination go wild with a vision board and place pictures of all the things you want and pictures of how you want your life to be. Make sure you put the vision board in a place where you see it and look at it every day as John Assaraf did. Feel the feelings of having those things now. As you receive and feel gratitude for receiving, you can remove pictures and add new ones. This is a wonderful way to introduce children to the law of attraction. I hope the creation of a vision board inspires parents and teachers worldwide. One of the people on the secret website forum put a picture of the secret DVD on his vision board. He had seen The Secret but didn't own his own copy. 2 days after he created his vision board, I felt inspired to post a notice on the secret forum giving away DVDs to the first 10 people who posted. He was one of the 10. He had received a copy of the secret DVD within 2 days of putting it on his vision board. Whether it is a DVD of The Secret or a house, the joy of creating and receiving is magnificent. Another powerful example of visualizing comes from my mother's experience of buying a new house. Several people besides my mother had put in offers for this particular house. My mother decided to use The Secret to make that house hers. She sat down and wrote her name and the new address of the house over and over. She continued doing this until it felt as though it was her address. She then imagined placing all of her furniture in that new house. Within hours of doing these things, she received a phone call saying her offer had been accepted. She was so thrilled, but it didn't come as a surprise to her because she knew that house was hers. What a champion! Decide what you want. Believe you can have it. Believe you deserve it and believe it's possible for you. And then close your eyes every day for several minutes and visualize having what you already want, feeling the feelings of already having it. Come out of that and focus on what you're grateful for already and really enjoy it. Then go into your day and release it to the universe and trust that the universe will figure out how to manifest it. Secret summaries. Expectation is a powerful attractive force. Expect the things you want, and don't expect the things you don't want. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. Be grateful for what you already have, and you will attract more good things. Giving thanks for what you want in advance turbocharges your desire.
Hold on, guys. Back.
and sends a more powerful signal out into the universe. Visualization is the process of creating pictures in your mind of yourself enjoying what you want. When you visualize, you generate.
Get SiriusXM and get
Powerful thoughts and feelings of having it now. The law of attraction then returns that reality to you, just as you saw it in your mind. To use the law of attraction to your advantage, make it a habitual way of being, not just a one-time event. At the end of every day, before you go to sleep, go back through the events of the day. Any events or moments that were not what you wanted, replay them in your mind the way you wanted them to go. Secret to money. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. The secret was a real transformation for me, because I grew up with a very negative father who thought that rich people were people that had ripped everyone off and thought that anyone that had money must have deceived somebody. So I grew up with a lot of beliefs about money, that if you had it, it made you bad, only evil people have money, and money doesn't grow on trees. Who do you think I am, Rockefeller? That was one of his favorite phrases. So I grew up truly believing that life was difficult. It was only when I met W. Clement Stone that I began to shift my life. When I was working with Stone, he said, I want you to set a goal that's so big that if you achieved it, it would blow your mind, and you would know it's only because of what I've taught you that you would have achieved this goal. At the time I was making about $8,000 a year, so I said, I want to make $100,000 in a year. Now, I had no idea how I could do that. I saw no strategy, no possibility, but I just said, I'm going to declare that, I'm going to believe it, I'm going to act as if it's true, and release it, so I did that. One of the things he taught me was every day to close your eyes and visualize the goals as if it's already achieved. I had actually made $100,000 bill that I'd put on the ceiling. So first thing in the morning I'd look up and there it was, and it would remind me that this was my intention. Then I would close my eyes and visualize having this $100,000 a year lifestyle. Interestingly enough, nothing major happened for about 30 days. I didn't have any great breakthrough ideas. No one was offering me more money. About 4 weeks into it, I had a $100,000 idea. It just came right into my head. I had a book I had written, and I said, if I can sell 400,000 copies of my book at $0.25 each, that'd be $100,000. Now, the book was there, but I never had this thought. One of the secrets is that when you have an inspired thought, you have to trust it and act on it. I didn't know how I was going to sell 400,000 copies. Then I saw the National Enquirer at the supermarket. I had seen that millions of times, and it was just background. And all of a sudden it jumped out at me as foreground. I thought, if readers knew about my book, certainly 400,000 people would go out and buy it. About 6 weeks later, I gave a talk at Hunter College in New York to 600 teachers, and afterward a woman approached me and said, "That was a great talk. I want to interview you. Let me give you my card."
I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, let's go. Okay, let's go. We're back outside.
As it turns out, she was a freelance writer who sold her stories to the National Enquirer. The theme from The Twilight Zone went off in my head, like, whoa, this stuff's really working. That article came out and our book sales started to take off. The point I want to make is that I was attracting into my life all these different events, including this person. To make a long story short, I did not make $100,000 that year. We made $92,327. But do you think we were depressed and saying, this doesn't work? No, we were saying, this is amazing. So my wife said to me, if it works for 100,000, do you think it'd work for 1 million? And I said, I don't know, I think so. Let's try it. My publisher wrote me a royalty check for our first chicken soup for the Soul book. And he actually put a smiley face in his signature, because it was the first $1 million check he'd ever written. So I know from my own experience, became I wanted to test it, does this secret really work? We put it to the test. It absolutely worked, and now I live my life from that every single day. The knowledge of the secret and the intentional use of the law of attraction can be applied to every single subject in your life. It is the same process for everything you want to create, and the subject of money is no different. To attract money, you must focus on wealth. It is impossible to bring more money into your life when you are noticing you do not have enough, because that means you are thinking thoughts that you do not have enough. Focus on not enough money, and you will create untold more circumstances of not having enough money. You must focus on the abundance of money to bring that to you. You have to emit a new signal with your thoughts, and those thoughts should be that you currently have more than enough. You really do need to call your imagination into play and make believe you already have the money you want. And it is so much fun to do. You will notice as you pretend and play games of having wealth that you feel instantly better about money, and as you feel better about it, it will begin to flow into your life. Jack's wonderful story inspired the Secret team to create a blank check available as a free download on the Secret website, www.thesecret.tv. The blank check is for you, and it is from the Bank of the Universe. You fill in your name, the amount, and details, and place it in a prominent place where you will see it every day. When you look at the check, feel the feelings of having that money now. Imagine spending that money, all the things you will buy and the things you will do. Feel how wonderful that is. Know it is yours, because when you ask, it is. We have received hundreds of stories from people who have brought huge sums of money to them using the Secret check. It's a fun game that works. Attract abundance. The only reason any person does not have enough money is because they are blocking money from coming to them with their thoughts.
Yep.
Every negative thought,
Yep.
feeling, or emotion is blocking your good from coming to you, and that includes money. It is not that the money is being kept from you by the universe, because all the money you require exists right now in the invisible. If you do not have enough, it is because you are stopping the flow of money coming to you, and you are doing that with your thoughts. You must tip the balance of your thoughts from lack of money to more than enough money. Think more thoughts of abundance than of lack, and you have tipped the balance. When you need money, it is a powerful feeling within you, and so of course through the law of attraction you will continue to attract needing money. I can speak from experience about money, because just before I discovered the secret, my accountants told me that my company had suffered a major loss that year, and in 3 months it would be history. After 10 years of hard work, my company was about to slip through my fingers. And as I needed more money to save my company, things just got worse. There seemed no way out. Then I discovered the secret, and everything in my life, including the state of my company, was totally transformed, because I changed the way I was thinking. As my accountants continued to fuss about the figures and focus on that, I kept my mind focused on abundance and all being well. I knew with every fiber of my being that the universe would provide, and it did. It provided in ways I could not have imagined. I had my moments of doubt, but when the doubt came, I immediately moved my thoughts to the outcome of what I wanted. I gave thanks for it, I felt the joy of it, and I believed. I want to let you in on a secret to the secret. The shortcut to anything you want in your life is to be and feel happy now. It is the fastest way to bring money and anything else you want into your life. Focus on radiating out into the universe those feelings of joy and happiness. When you do that, you will attract back to you all things that bring you joy and happiness, which will not only include an abundance of money, but everything else you are wanting. You must radiate out the signal to bring back what you want. As you radiate out those feelings of happiness, they will be sent back to you as the pictures and experiences of your life. The law of attraction is reflecting back your innermost thoughts and feelings as your life. Focus on prosperity. I can imagine what a lot of people are thinking. How can I attract more money into my life? How can I get more of the green stuff? How can I get more of wealth and prosperity? How can I, when I love my job, deal with the credit card debt that I have, and the realization that maybe there's a ceiling on the money that can come in, because it's coming to me through my job? How can I bring in more? Intend it. This goes back to one of the things we've been talking about throughout the whole secret. Your job is to declare what you would like to have from the catalog of the universe. If cash is one of them, say how much you would like to have. I would like to have $25,000 unexpected income within the next 30 days, or whatever it happens to be. It should be believable for you. If you have held thoughts in the past that the only way money can come to you is through your job, then let that go immediately. Can you appreciate that as you continue to think that it must be your experience? Such thoughts do not serve you. You are now coming to understand that there is abundance for you, and it is not your job to work out how the money will come to you. It is your job to ask, to believe you are receiving, and feel happy now. Leave the details to the universe on how it will bring it about. Most people have a goal of getting out of debt. That will keep you in debt forever. Whatever you're thinking about, you will attract. You say, but it's get out of debt. I don't care if it's get out or get in. If you're thinking debt, you're attracting debt. Set up an automatic debt repayment program and then start to focus on prosperity. When you have a pile of bills that you have no idea how you are going to pay, you cannot focus on those bills, because you will continue to attract more bills. You have to find a way that works for you to focus on prosperity despite the bills around you. You have to find a way of feeling good, so you can bring your good to you. So many times people say to me, I'd like to double my income in the next year. But then you look at their actions and they're not doing the things that are going to make that happen.
What?
They'll turn right around and they'll say, I can't afford that. Guess what? Your wish is my command. If the words I can't afford it have passed your lips, your power to change that is now. Change it with, I can afford that. I can buy that.
I can buy that. Let's go.
Say it over and over. Become like a parrot. For the next 30 days, make it your intention that you are going to look at everything you like and say to yourself, I can afford that. I can buy that. As you see your dream car drive past, say, I can afford that. As you see clothes you love, as you think about a great vacation, say, I can afford that. As you do this, you will begin to shift yourself and you will begin to feel better about money. You will begin to convince yourself that you can afford those things, and as you do, the pictures of your life will change. When you focus on lack and scarcity and what you don't have, you fuss about it with your family, you discuss it with your friends, you tell your children that you don't have enough. We don't have enough for that, we can't afford that, then you'll never be able to afford it, because you begin to attract more of what you don't have. If you want abundance, if you want prosperity, then focus on abundance. Focus on prosperity. The spiritual substance from which comes all visible wealth is never depleted. It is right with you all the time and responds to your faith in it and your demands on it. Now that you know the secret, when you see someone who is wealthy, you will know that that person's predominant thoughts are on wealth and not on scarcity, and that they have drawn wealth to them, whether they did it consciously or unconsciously. They focused on thoughts of wealth, and the universe moved people, circumstances, and events to deliver wealth to them. The wealth that they have, you have also. The only difference between you and them is that they thought the thoughts to bring the wealth to them. Your wealth is waiting for you in the invisible, and to bring it into the visible, think wealth. When I first understood the secret, every day I would get a bunch of bills in the mail. I thought, how do I turn this around? The law of attraction states that what you focus on you will get. So I got a bank statement, I whited out the total, and I put a new total in there. I put exactly how much I wanted to see in the bank. So I thought, what if I just visualized checks coming in the mail? So I just visualized a bunch of checks coming in the mail. Within just 1 month, things started to change. It is amazing. Today I just get checks in the mail. I get a few bills, but I get more checks than bills. Since the film The Secret was released, we have received hundreds and hundreds of letters from people who have said that since watching the film they have received unexpected checks in the mail. And it happened because as they gave their focus and attention to David's story, they brought checks to them. A game I created that helped shift my feelings about my pile of bills was to pretend that the bills were actually checks. I would jump for joy as I opened them and say, more money for me. Thank you. Thank you. I took each bill, imagined it was a check, and then I added a zero to it in my mind to make it even more. I got a notepad and wrote at the top of the page I have received, and then I would list all the amounts of the bills with an added zero. Next to each amount I would write thank you, and feel the feelings of gratitude for receiving it, to the point where I had tears in my eyes. Then I would take each bill, which looked very small compared to what I had received, and I would pay it with gratitude. I never opened my bills until I had got myself into the feeling that they were checks. If I opened my bills before convincing myself they were checks, my stomach would churn when I opened them. I knew that the emotion of the churning in my stomach was powerfully bringing more bills. I knew I had to erase that feeling and replace it with joyful feelings, so I could bring more money into my life. I grew up on, you have to work hard for money. So I replaced that with, money comes easily and frequently. Now in the beginning it feels like a lie, right? There is a part of your brain that will say, oh you liar, it's hard. So you have to know it's this little tennis match that will go on for a while.
¿No tienes un sombrero o una tejana que ya no quieras?
If you have had thoughts of, I have to work really hard and struggle to have money, let them go immediately. By thinking those thoughts you emitted that frequency, and they became the pictures of your life experience. Take Laurel Langmeyer's advice, and replace those thoughts with, money comes easily and frequently. When it comes to creating wealth, wealth is a mindset. It's all about how you think. I'd say 80% of the coaching that I do with folks is about their psychology and the way they think. I know when people say, "Oh, you can do it, I can't." People have the capability to change their inner relationship and conversation with money. The good news is that the moment you decide that what you know is more important than what you have been taught to believe, you will have shifted gears in your quest for abundance. Success comes from within, not from without. You have got to feel good about money to attract more to you. Understandably, when people do not have enough money, they do not feel good about money because they don't have enough. But those negative feelings about money are been forwarded to voicemail. Talking more money coming to you. You have got to stop the cycle, and you stop it by starting to
How you doing? This is your dasher?
Yeah, leave the food on the floor.
Okay, I need the code to get into the gate.
The gate on, I leave the message already. 2856.
Huh?
The address I leave the gate code already.
No, I don't have a gate. No, I don't have a gate code.
2856.
2856. Okay. Okay, thank you.
feel good about money and being grateful for what you have. Start to say and feed, "I have more than enough." There is an abundance of money and it's on its way to me. I am a money magnet. I love money and money loves me. I am
Building
receiving
5. What
money
if I
every
building
day.
5?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Giving is a powerful action to bring more money into your life.
Yep.
Because when you are giving, you are saying, "I have plenty." It will not be surprising to you to learn that the wealthiest people on the planet are the greatest philanthropists. They give away vast amounts of money, and as they give, by the law of attraction, the universe opens up and floods vast amounts of money back to them. Don't have enough money. When you think you don't have enough to give, start giving. As you demonstrate faith in giving, the law of attraction must give you more to give. There is a big difference between giving and sacrificing. Giving from a heart that is overflowing feels so good. Sacrificing does not feel good. Don't confuse the two, they are diametrically opposed. One emits a signal of lack and the other emits a signal of more than enough. One feels good and one does not feel good.
Let's go.
Sacrifice will eventually lead to resentment. Giving from a full heart is one of the most joyous things you can do, and the law of attraction will grab hold of that signal and flood even more into your life. You can feel the difference. I find so many people who make a tremendous.
Alright, guys, I'll leave you guys right here for a second. I'm gonna go give it a shit. Se me hace que es.
Money, but their relationships stink. And that's not wealth. You can go rich, but it doesn't guarantee you'll be wealthy. I'm not suggesting that money isn't a part of wealth. It absolutely is. But it's only a part. And then I meet a lot of people who are spiritual, but they're sick and broke all the time. That's not wealth either. Life is meant to be abundant in all areas. If you have been brought up to believe that being wealthy is not spiritual, then I highly recommend you read The Millionaires of the Bible series by Catherine Ponder. In these glorious books you will discover that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, and Jesus were not only prosperity teachers, but also millionaires themselves, with more affluent lifestyles than many present-day millionaires could conceive of. You are the heir to the kingdom. Prosperity is your birthright, and you hold the key to more abundance in every area of your life than you can possibly imagine. You deserve every good thing you want, and the universe will give you every good thing you want, but you have to summon it into your life. Now you know the secret. You have the key. The key is your thoughts and feelings, and you have been holding the key in your hand all of your life. Many people in Western culture are striving for success.
Too much work for none of them.
business is to work, they want all these outer things. But what we found in our research is that having these outer things does not necessarily guarantee what we really want, which is happiness. So we go for these outer things thinking they're going to bring us happiness, but it's backward. You need to go for the inner joy, the inner peace, the inner vision first, and then all of the outer things appear. Everything you want is an inside job. The outside world is the world of effects. Effects just the result of thoughts. Set your thoughts and frequency on happiness. Radiate the feelings of happiness and joy within you, and transmit that into the universe with all of your might, and you will experience true heaven on earth. Secret summaries. To attract money, focus on wealth. It is impossible to bring more money into your life when you focus on the lack of it. It is helpful to use your imagination and make believe you already have the money you want. Play games of having wealth and you will feel better about money. As you feel better about it, more will flow into your life. Feeling happy now is the fastest way to bring money into your life. Make it your intention to look at everything you like and say to yourself, I can afford that. I can buy that. You will shift your thinking and begin to feel better about money. Give money in order to bring more of it into your life. When you are generous with money and feel good about sharing it, you are saying, I have plenty. Visualize checks in the mail. Tip the balance of your thoughts to wealth. Think wealth. The secret means that we are creators of our universe, and that every wish that we want to create will manifest in our lives. Therefore, our wishes, thoughts, and feelings are very important because they will manifest. One day I went into the home of an art director, a very famous film producer. In every corner he had this beautiful image of a naked woman draped with a fabric, kind of turning away as if she were saying, I don't see you. I said to him, I think you might have trouble in your romance. And he said, are you clairvoyant? No, but look. In 7 places, you have exactly that same woman. He said, but I love that kind of painting. I painted it myself. I said, that's even worse because you put all your creation and creativity in it. He's a gorgeous looking man with all these actresses around him because that's the work he does, and he doesn't have any romance. I asked him, what do you want? I want to date 3 women a week. I said, okay, paint it. Paint yourself with 3 women and hang it in every corner of your living space. 6 months later, I saw him and asked, how is your love life? Great. Women call me, they want to date me. Because that's your wish, I said. He said, I feel great. I mean, for years I did not have a date, and now I have 3 dates a week. They're fighting over me. Good for you, I said. Then he told me, I really want to stabilize. I want marriage now. I want romance. I said, well, then paint it. He painted a beautiful romantic relationship, and a year later he got married, and he's very happy. This is because he put another wish out. He wished it in himself for years without it happening because his wish could not manifest. The outer level of himself, his house, was contradicting his wish all the time. So if you understand this knowledge, you just start playing with it. Marie Diamond's story of her client is a perfect demonstration of how feng shui reflects the teachings of The Secret. It illustrates how our thoughts create powerfully when we put them into action. Any action we take must be preceded by a thought. Thoughts create the words we speak, the feelings we feel, and our actions. Actions are particularly powerful because they are thoughts that have caused us to act. We may not even realize what our innermost thoughts are, but we can see what we
Does these 5 things. 1.
been thinking by looking at the actions we have taken. In the story of the film producer, his innermost thoughts were reflected in his actions and surroundings. He had painted many women, all turning away from him. Can you see what his innermost thoughts were? Even though his words were saying he wanted to date more women, his innermost thoughts did not reflect that in his paintings. By deliberately choosing to change his actions, it caused him to focus his entire thought on what he wanted. With such a simple shift, he was able to paint his life and call it into existence through the law of attraction. When you want to attract something into your life, make sure your actions don't contradict your desires. One of the most wonderful examples of this is given by Mike Dooley, one of the teachers featured in The Secret, in his audio course, Leveraging the Universe and Engaging the Magic. It is a story of a woman who wanted to attract her perfect partner into her life. She had done all the right things. She got clear about what she wanted him to be like, made a detailed list of all of his qualities, and visualized him in her life. Despite doing all these things, there was no sign of him. Then one day, as she arrived home and was parking her car in the middle of her garage, she gasped as she realized that her actions were contradicting what she wanted. If her car was in the middle of the garage, there was no room for her perfect partner's car. Her actions were powerfully saying to the universe that she did not believe she was going to receive what she had asked for. So she immediately cleaned up her garage and parked her car to one side, leaving space for her perfect partner's car on the other side. She then went into her bedroom and opened her wardrobe, which was jammed full of clothes. There was no room for her perfect partner's clothes. So she moved some of her clothes to make space. She had also been sleeping in the middle of her bed, and so she began sleeping on her side, leaving space for her partner. This woman related her story to Mike Dooley over a dinner, and sitting next to her at the table was her perfect partner. After taking all of these powerful actions and acting as if she had already received her perfect partner, he arrived in her life and they are now happily married. Another simple example of acting as if is a story of my sister Glenda, who is the production manager of the film The Secret. She was living and working in Australia, and she wanted to move to the United States and work with me in our US office. Glenda knew The Secret very well, and so she was doing all the right things to bring forth what she wanted, but months were passing by and she was still in Australia. Glenda looked at her actions and realized she was not acting as if she was receiving what she had asked for. So she began to take powerful actions. She organized everything in her life for her departure. She canceled memberships, gave away things she would not need, and she got her suitcases out and packed them. Within 4 weeks, Glenda was in the United States working out of our US office. Think about what you have asked for, and make sure that your actions are mirroring what you expect to receive, and that they're not contradicting what you've asked for. Act as if you are receiving it. Do exactly what you would do if you were receiving it today, and take actions in your life to reflect that powerful expectation. Make room to receive your desires, and as you do, you are sending out that powerful signal of expectation. Your job is you. Inside relationships, it's important to first understand who's coming into the relationship, and not just your partner. You need to understand yourself first. How can you ever expect anyone else to enjoy your company if you don't enjoy your own company? And so again, the law of attraction or the secret is about bringing that into your life. UV got to get really, really clear. Here's the question I would ask you to consider. Do you treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? When you do not treat yourself the way you want others to treat you, you can never change the way things are. Your actions are your powerful thoughts, so if you do not treat yourself with love and respect, you are emitting a signal that is saying you are not important enough, worthy enough, or deserving. That signal will continue to be broadcast, and you will
Babe, the whole world knows now. Oh my God. Hey, yo! Oh, son! Hey, this is funny! Look! Watch! All of LA knows you for it.
Okay.
LA know, bro. You know how many people watch? Good morning, LA. You fart!
I said what I said and I said it. And I meant it.
But everybody knows now.
Okay.
You're a farter.
You fart too. And yours be way worse than mine.
Okay, cut the video. You ain't gotta do all that. You couldn't.
Oh, it had me dancing and shit.
So, check these out. These are beef ribs. Look at that bend. Look at that bend.
I can't lie. I feel like I've been wanting
known for
Who's ready for BYOB at Tacos Policy? Bring your own bag of chips. Choose any.
experience more situations of people not treating you well. The people are just the effect. Your thoughts are the cause. You must begin to treat yourself with love.
Not decorators.
Yeah.
That cheese pull. What do you rate that cheese pull though? Outback mukbang review with me and.
Our Primo here. I joined the agency to pretty much build up my business. The reason why I started selling agua is I've been wanting to sell it for a long time, and the Clover agency actually helped motivate me to do it as well. It's like a family. And hanging out with them is like a family. Our Primo reason why I started selling Aguas is I've been wanting to sell them for a long time. And the Clover Agency actually helped motivate me to do it as well. It's like a family. And hanging out with them is like a family. I work here. I joined the agency to.
Al revés. Si no vas a estar aquí en las vacas flacas, no viven bien las vacas gordas. So, si vas a estar conmigo en las buenas, en las malas, arre. Si no, aquí llegamos a toda la puerta. Y a esta edad también ella también ya al orgullo yo. So, like, como te digo, she's been with me en las buenas ya me han mirado a my worst and then my best. And she's been real, you know. Es otra cosa, al último de todo, porque mucha gente piensa así y en realidad no interesa eso. Mucha gente se fija en lo físico. ¿Qué me hubiera ganado contar con una pinche vieja bien buenota, bien así, operada de todo el pedo? Y en el primer pinche pedo que hubiera, ¡pum! Chismas. O cuando caía el bote por año y feria, que ya no hubiera con otro güey o que ese otro, ¿qué me hubiera ganado? ¿Y de mí? Porque de que me la puedo conseguir, me la puedo conseguir. Pero that shit at the end of the day doesn't fucking matter. Al revés. Si no vas a estar aquí en las vacas flacas.
Well, hello, Las Vegas Police, and this is the White Sands Motel here on the Strip. And oops, it was knocked down with no permit. The motel was bought by the MHA Tribal Nation for $10.2.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go ahead and talk to them. Are they open? Alright, guys, we're gonna go. Happy Monday. Make that money. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok, guys. If you're on TikTok, go follow, go watch the video on TikTok. We're gonna go live on TikTok. It's lunchtime, guys. We're gonna go live on.